Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to the SoulFire podcast. I'm your host, Tammy Goerke. We're going to talk about all kinds of topics, all centrally focused on inspiring and empowering women, insights, tips, and tools for living life to its fullest. This is going to be a mix of solo chats and weekly interviews with women who are living life their way, whatever that may be, so that you can envision what's possible for you. I Am Inspiring Women is going to be a subsect of SoulFire podcast. Not sure if anybody's ever done that, but this is going to be 2 podcasts in one, so hope you enjoy. We'll talk about the ways to have an attitude that will get you through anything and what you can do to reconnect with your inner child and better manage those reactive emotions. We will discuss how to work through those limiting beliefs and what it takes to be a light in the world. This is a place to discover how other women are thriving in their chosen profession, whether it's an artist, a business owner, an entrepreneur, stay-at-home mom. Will discuss the real and honest truth about what being a woman means to us. These women talk about challenges and successes, how they deal with the ups and downs of life. These are real women who are sharing their stories so that you'll be encouraged to live your best life. Inspiration, motivation, and transformation. Let's encourage each other. Let's lift each other up. Let's learn and expand our possibilities in this world. Let's share with each other what being a woman means to us. Life is an adventure, and being a woman right now is the biggest adventure of all. Hello, so today on episode 5, I want to talk about Mother Earth, Gaia, Pachamama. So Roy and I watched this David Attenborough show documentary, A Life on This Planet, I think is what it's called. And it's, holy cow, it's fantastic. I'm a documentary freak anyway. I love watching all the Nature Planet and all that kind of stuff. It makes me super happy. It's interesting and it's calming, and anything that has to do with animals and nature is always my go-to. But the reason I want to talk about it is because we get so wrapped up in life that we forget that this little blue marble in the middle of nothing takes care of us. And so, we've got to consider the damage that we do to it, the amount of time that we spend with her. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you took your shoes off and walked through the grass and reconnected with the earth? I mean, I do it a lot. I love taking my shoes off. I really don't like having my shoes on. That being said, last time I did it was a little while ago, a few weeks ago at least. And I can feel it. I feel when I'm not connected and when I'm not centered. It makes me feel discombobulated. Nature centers us. It calms us. It brings us back to who we're meant to be. We're intricately connected. And anyone who thinks otherwise, that this is just a place that is here to serve our every whim and to, be used up and abused, really does not know what's going on. We've got to take care of this place. There's only one like it. Everybody says that. Everybody knows that. But who's doing anything to do anything about it? I'm frustrated because with this whole thing that's going on around now with the pandemic, I see more face masks on the ground than ever before. I see, garbage and people not bothering to pick up after themselves. And it's disheartening to see how little we care about this place. I really want to ask people, when you throw something on the floor, do you do that at home? I mean, do you treat your house and your domicile this way? I mean, I am not the neatest of people. Trust me. I have my little piles. I have books over there. I have art supplies over there. I have notebooks. I have notebooks everywhere for journaling. But if I see garbage on the floor, I pick it up. If I see garbage outside, I pick it up. And I get that, my mom always told me, there's a garbage can right there. You can throw it away. You don't need to throw it on the ground. And everywhere that we grew up overseas, she made a point of making sure that we picked up after ourselves. I love my mom. She's a phenomenal woman. Just side note, But, we don't take care of this planet. We don't care about what happens to it. And guys, in the grand scheme of things, we all know that human beings are a blip, a blip in this Earth's history. And we're so arrogant as to think that, oh, it doesn't matter what we do, we'll be here for forever. Okay, whatever. That is not the way it's going to be. And, I try to teach my kids to pick up after themselves and to recycle and to, do what they can. I know I really can't very well get them to be vegetarian and not eat a lot of meat because I like steak every once in a while. I do. I'm not going to admit that I don't. But that said, I try to eat healthier because it affects the planet. I mean, when 70% of the birds on this planet are domesticated chickens, there's an issue. I mean, come on, people. What the heck happened to all the rest of the birds? Oh, we killed them off because we killed off the rainforests and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there are things that we can do. I know that we're only one person in our own little worlds, but even if each one of us just does one small thing, we can make a difference. We can change things, and we can change things dramatically. I mean, the movie with this documentary with David Attenborough. He's 93 years old. In his lifetime, the world has gone to shit. In his lifetime, one person's lifetime. I was watching that, I was freaking out because I'm thinking, in one lifetime, I plan to be living over 93. I plan to live to 127. So I know Roy's like thinking I'm freaking out, but seriously, if that's my goal, 127, and I make it to 120, 125, hell yeah, I've made it. But my point is that if that kind of a dramatic change can happen in one man's life, what will happen in my lifetime? And I hope to God we can change things and turn things around. Now, I've noticed some changes. Families are getting smaller, which makes a difference because then that means the population is not quite growing so fast. We do we are, living longer. So we have an older generation that's hanging out a bit longer. Thank you, because I plan on living here for a while. But if we watch what we eat and we change the way that we eat, we don't have to eat so much meat. We do not have to have so many domesticated, cows. We do not have to have 70% of the bird life being domesticated chickens. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. I'm just like, that's one thing that just stuck in my mind. It was crazy. We can make some changes. Even if we only cut back on meat one day. Let's start with that. One day a week, we don't eat meat. See how we feel. See what difference it makes. Cut back on dairy a little bit. Cut back on, any kind of animal byproduct, whatever it may be. Here's the thing. So back in the day, we used to use every part of the animal. Every part of it. The Native Americans used every part of it. And when they killed an animal, they actually thanked the animal for giving its life. Do we do that? No. Do we even know where the cow came from that had our steak on the table? No. Do we know where the chicken came from? No, we don't. We don't pay attention to that stuff. We think it's, going to be there for forever, and that, we don't need to worry about that kind of stuff. But that has an effect on our world. And I really believe in the idea, again, of the Native Americans, that we borrow this earth from our children and our grandchildren. What kind of a world are we living them or giving back to them if we don't take care of it, if we don't do what we need to make this a better place? It's depressing. I mean, the rainforests are being cut down at an astronomical rate. I mean, I do need to do more research, I will admit, because I believe that it's getting better. But that being said, I don't know that it is. And it freaks me out because I am a very big nature person. I love being outside. I love going for hikes. Seriously, who can tell me that when you go out in nature that they don't get relaxed. They don't feel more connected to the earth, that they feel more connected to themselves. They feel calmer. Being out in nature is calming. It's refreshing. And when you feel off or chaotic, there's pandemonium in your world, craziness like there's going on now, and you go sit under a big tree and let it shade you, just sit there in the quiet and listen to its leaves rustling above you, the wind blowing through the leaves. Feel its roots underneath you and a trunk up against your back. Use that tree's strength to strengthen you, to bring you back to center, to bring you back to calmness. There's a big oak in the neighbor's yard. I mean, it's huge, massive, massive thing. And when there aren't renters in that house, I will go sit under that tree and just lean up against it and just think about everything that this tree has seen. It's got to be over 100 years old. It's massive. And just even imagining what it's been through, the storms that it's weathered, the chaos that it's seen, the beauty that has grown up around it. And you think about this and you realize that as much as we want to think that we're a dominant species and that, we're the end all be all of the world, we are absolutely not. I mean, hell, we all know cockroaches are going to outlive us. They've been here for freaking ever. We've got to consider what we do, what our impact is, what we can do to change what we've got going on, to change how we treat the earth and how we treat others. Because if we can treat the earth better, we can treat others better. I mean, it's not difficult to be a little bit kinder. It's not difficult to be a little bit more loving. It's not difficult to be a little bit lighthearted and calm and understanding about how we treat ourselves, how we treat the earth, and how we treat others. It really only takes a little bit of our awareness to change. And we as individuals can make a difference. I know we think, oh, I'm only one person. Well, only one person doing one thing may impact someone else and change their idea of how they can impact the world. And so that one person becomes 2 people, that becomes 3 people, it becomes 4 people. It grows. That exponential growth of us deciding one person at a time that we are going to make a difference and then acting on it and being that difference. What was it Gandhi said? Be the change that you want to see in the world. So if you want to make a difference, then do something about it. So this is my doing something about it. I am changing the way I eat. I am not eating anywhere near as much meat. I am not eating anywhere as much animal products as I used to, which I don't eat a lot anyway, but I'm going to be cutting out a lot more. And that is my choice. I'm not saying that anybody else needs to be doing it with me because I'm sure Roy's going to be like, what the hell? Tammy's not eating anything and I've got to follow around along with what she's doing. No, this is my choice. If he decides he wants to join the bandwagon of Tammy's, save the earth one person at a time, well then, heck, I'd love to have him come along. But anyway, all right, my rant is over. So guys, get out there. Change the world in your little corner. Pick up the garbage if you see it on the ground. Go sit under a big tree. Eliminate meat from your menu one day a week. One day. Just that. One day. That's all. No big deal. And see what kind of a difference together we can make. Because together we can make a hell of a difference. Together we can do all kinds of things. We can bring this planet back to the way that she used to be. Strong, healthy, able to keep us strong and healthy. And that's all it takes, just one person making a difference, and you can be that one person. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you'll subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.